Acting under the color of law. Acting under the color of law.
Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Deontay Lamar, and I am back with another video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Now, we are discussing a very serious situation that has been going on in Cincinnati, Ohio. On May 1st, 2025, 18-year-old Ryan Hinton was fatally shot by a Cincinnati police officer after fleeing from a stolen vehicle. And it was alleged that he pointed a weapon at the officers. I'm pretty sure everybody that's following this story has seen the footage. It was very grainy, so you couldn't really tell what was really going on. But from what I saw, I didn't see a weapon pointed at the Cincinnati police officers. I didn't. And the following day, his father, Rodney Hinton Jr., 38 years old, had reviewed that body cam footage. He was obviously hurt, very traumatized, and it's being alleged that he struck and unalived a Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy. Excuse me. My thoughts and prayers definitely go out to that family of the Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy. He didn't deserve that. He didn't. He really didn't. I've heard a lot of good things about this particular sheriff's deputy, Larry Henderson. My heart goes out to the family of the 18-year-old Ryan Hinton. I wish that hadn't never occurred. I wish he would have never been there. And it's a lot of animosity in the city. It's a lot of pain. It's a lot of hurt going on in the city right now. And I pray for the city of Cincinnati. I grew up in Cincinnati, actually. Very familiar with that area that this occurred. Right now, his father, Rodney Hinton, is facing some very serious charges. It's not looking good right now, because these charges can possibly carry up to a death penalty. But 2 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 1 count of murder. Yep. His lawyer has cited that he was under a lot of emotional stress following his son's passing, which, I mean, let me tell y'all something, man. I can empathize with Rodney Hinton Jr. I can. But I don't condone that. I understand that you were hurt. You got a lot of emotions going on. That's your child. You know, as a father, when you have your child, right? You have your baby. You burping, you feeding, you changing diapers, you teaching them how to walk. You know, this is your son. It's nothing like having your son. Couldn't imagine what was going on through this man's mind, seeing his child being unalived, seeing his son running scared. Because what I seen was this kid. It's a kid, 18 years old. He's still a kid, a young man. But you still, when you're 18 as a young man, you're still developing. So as a father, you want to be there to protect your children. And he felt, I could sense that he felt powerless in that situation. There was nothing he can do to bring his son back. And he probably just seen red, probably just totally just out of his mind. So in this video, I'm just going to share my thoughts and opinions on this. This is a fair and balanced channel. We definitely going to keep it fair and balanced. And like I said, my condolences go out to the family of Larry Henderson. I've heard nothing but good things, nothing but positive things. I hear a lot of people online saying eye for an eye, right? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because somewhere that cop that actually did this unaliving, somewhere safe with his family, he's able to see his kids, able to hug his wife, able to hug his family members, able to enjoy life. But you have a grieving father, a grieving family, you have a grieving siblings, and you have a grieving community on both ends for the Hamilton County Deputy Sheriff's Department, Hamilton County Department, and you have Ryan Hinton's family, and everybody's grieving, everybody's hurting. But this was a situation where it was just a lot of bad decisions, And his family spoke out. I want to review what his family had to say. It's very unfortunate that all this happened. And something's telling me that this kid, even though there was a stolen vehicle and there was weapons in the vehicle and stuff, and he allegedly had a weapon on him, something tell me that he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Honestly. But let's take a look at this and y'all let me know what y'all think.
That killed my grandson. I've been praying hard for him and his family because I know he's hurting off this. As I seen in the video about my grandson, I seen two scared people. I seen the officer scared and I seen my grandson scared. So it's an unfortunate incident that happened.
It's very unfortunate. And he said something that spoke volumes to me. He said he's seen two scared people. He's seen the officer scared and he's seen his grandson scared. He's seen the officer scared. This is the stuff I'll be talking about. You know, if you're scared, if you're that scared, maybe this isn't the career for you as in law enforcement. If you're that afraid, this is obviously not the line of work you need to be in. You're going to come across a lot of stuff, and this is what you sign up for. You have to put your big boy pants on and toughen up a little bit and face these type of situations head on. And you have to de-escalate before it comes to this. Like, you know, one thing, I had a few questions. Like, if they approach this vehicle with 4 suspects asleep, right, in a stolen vehicle, there are certain things that could have been done. Like maybe tap the window and tell them to get out the car right now. Guns already drawn. And I bet they would have got some cooperation. And where the suspects wouldn't even have time to take off running. So that was one of the things that kind of spoke to me. Like, how do they even have the room to get out to run if y'all approached the vehicle and discovered they were sleeping? Could have just been a simple tap on the window, the guns drawn. All right, I need everybody to keep your hands visible, and we gonna have y'all step out one at a time. Nobody would have took off running. Everybody would have been taken in custody peacefully. Car would have been returned to the person that reported it stolen, and we would have had Ryan Hinton still here. Father wouldn't have been in jail, and Mr. Larry Henderson would have still been here. You know, there are certain things that you have to do to de-escalate. It seems like a lot of these situations, cops escalate. Not all, because you have a few good people in law enforcement. You have a few.
So that's all I seen. It was like, I didn't see the police there trying to kill. No. What I seen was 2 persons made a mistake. My grandson made a mistake being there, and the officer, he was trying to get back to his family too. So that's what I seen. So
I agree. Now, in some cases, people in law enforcement have to do what they have to do to get back to their families. They deserve to go home to their families just like anybody else. They deserve to be home to hug their kids, hug their wife, do the family thing. They deserve that. But you have to be more careful out here. You have to move strategically when subduing suspects and all that. And this thing with the stolen car, right? The stolen vehicle that they ran. I'm hearing stuff. I'm hearing different conflicting stories that it was a car. They were behind on car payments, but when you're behind on car payments, it's very rare that they report the vehicle stolen. They would just repossess it. You understand? Now, I'm gonna take a guess at this. I might be wrong. Maybe they rented it off a Toro from a person that hosted that rental, and that person probably had a GPS, of course, and tracked that and reported it stolen. That kind of makes sense if that happened. Well, let's continue.
it's not about revenge or anything. I have nothing against nobody. My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And I represent Him. So, with that said, please, everybody, just try to forgive everybody who's done.
Amen. Amen.
For you, this is a fact-finding mission more than anything to make sure you understand.
Yeah, it's a peace thing for me, for everything, for everybody to heal off this.
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody to heal off this. It was just like a mistake. I really feel bad for the officer who was shooting because I can see the scariness in him too. People can't see that I'm going spiritual with this thing.
Again, it's a lot of people in law enforcement that are scared. They fear for their life. I watched the press conference that the chief of police gave, and she said the officer felt threatened for his life. That is the number one thing that they say. They fear for their life. It's been so many people unalive, black, white, because the officer feared for his life. And this person was unarmed, just reaching for an ID, reaching for an insurance card, reaching for a registration. Cop was freaked out, scared. They should go through a lot of tests for the mental health or whatever to make sure they don't have no kind of anxiety disorder. I believe that we should police ourselves. Like, what I'm saying is that maybe put people that are used to that kind of demographic of people that they're policing, like maybe have majority of African Americans in African American neighborhoods where the comfortability levels are kind of neutral. Some African Americans respond more positive to African American officers versus a white officer, because a lot of times, and just me speaking from my personal interactions with Caucasian officers, they come off very condescending. They never give you the benefit of the doubt. They always assume that you're guilty, and they just go all in for the gusto. And it's ridiculous. I lost count of how many times I myself have been pulled over and harassed until they found out, what I do for a living or whatever. And it shouldn't take all that. It shouldn't take all that. I believe that everybody deserves a fair shake. You shouldn't judge somebody just about how they look, or if it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, if they ride and they get to their job or something like that. You shouldn't be harassed and pulled over. It's counterproductive.
So I was able to see that God had allowed me to see this part of the accident. Just like my son made an accident too. So he made an accident. Just, saying, just trying to just move on. That's all I'm trying to do on. And I'm praying for the officer and their family.
I want to say out to the media and the social media, my name is Tanya Bark, and I am Ryan's grandma. Ryan was a sweet, gentle giant. Played with everybody all the time. You see all the younger ones? That was their PlayStation buddy.
That's tear jerking, because these are kids. siblings or just probably, you know, cousins or something like that. And he interacted with all of them. He included all of them. And now they are left to grieve. Probably don't really fully understand what's really going on, but now they're left grieving. And once again, this is stuff that we have to think about before we put ourselves in certain situations. But let's continue because we got some more.
He made it a point to make sure that he played with each and every last one of them whenever he was around them. He included them in the game process. He taught each one of them how to play the game. We are very close family. This is killing us. I can't even express how I feel right now about, I'm angry because it shouldn't have never happened. I want to find out exactly what steps was taken. And if everything comes out that it's not what it should have been, we need to do something about change and training and diversity and understanding us as a Black culture. We as Black people, we don't deserve to be killed.
I agree. You know, it definitely has to be a lot of diversity training in these departments nationwide. That way stuff like this won't continue to happen. Now, I have seen where even white individuals were unalived as well. And I was just like, wow, that was just overkill. I mean, like, come on now. You know, I just believe it needs to be training overall. We need to get rid of a lot of these hotheads. We definitely need reform. Definitely need some reform. And I believe people need to start losing jobs where they can't go to another department and pick up another job and work in another department because the cycle will continue. I believe that there needs to be more counseling and more therapy for these officers because, like I said, it's a very difficult job. I can appreciate that. I can respect that. It's a very difficult job. You run into so many issues, and some of these individuals in law enforcement are very patient. I've seen numerous police videos where I've commended these officers for being very, very patient. But when you come up on a situation like this, 4 individuals sleeping in a stolen vehicle, you just don't know. But again, I believe that arrest, the whole situation could have been done different. Maybe approach the vehicle, knock on the window if they were all asleep, have everybody keep their hands visible, step out the vehicle, and then arrest everybody.
Because we're running away from the police. We're scared just as much as they are.
That was another thing. They said that he was running away. Now, once somebody is running away, unless you aiming back, point a gun back at them, that's a threat. But once you're running away, no gun pointed at nobody, the threat is gone. Where's the threat? Once you're running away, where's the threat? You know, I don't understand that part. You know, but like I said, I wasn't there. Only the body cam footage can show everything. Like I said, body cam footage and maybe a thorough investigation if they can see all body cams. But why was he the only one running? If it was 4 suspects, why was he the only one on body cam? You didn't see nobody else scattering nowhere. How did they have time to run? And they said he was in a bladed position. Let's take a look at what a bladed position is and we'll get back to her.
The chief said the suspect was in a bladed position. It's an important distinction, and here's what that terminology means. Let's pretend you're the officer and I'm the suspect. I come running through these dumpsters. When I come out on the other side, I'm pointing my gun at you in a bladed position, threatening you theoretically. I do not need to turn to you and square up in order to threaten you with my gun. All right, well, there will.
You really couldn't see if the gun was actually pointed either because that, like I said, it was grainy. So we just don't know. But let's continue.
Whether we did something right or wrong. This is everyday life for us. Being scared of the police.
It is.
Take that in consideration while everybody is making comments on the parent should have did this and the parent should have did that.
Okay, come on.
When she said she's not worried about it, I guess the parents had criticism because a lot of people will say, oh, the parents need to be doing this, the parents need to be doing that. As parents, you can teach your children, you can instill in them values, you can tell them what's right from wrong, but at the end of the day, once your kids leave the house, they have free will. Sometimes your kids are gonna get out here and bump their head. Some of these kids gotta learn the hard way. And that's what the mother meant. She didn't mean she didn't care about the situation. She just meant she didn't care about what people were saying. Because as a mother, she probably didn't have done her part. You know, I've heard good things about Ryan, that he was in school trying to get his education. Like I said, I strongly believe he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, when you're scared, you just do. Sometimes you do stuff. He might have grabbed the weapon. Probably didn't even belong to him. He probably just grabbed it and just took off running. If it was even a weapon, you just don't know. You just don't know. Only people that know is God, Ryan, and the officers that were there.
Sweet. Ryan, I'm so sorry. This was never supposed to happen to you. Ever. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just know he wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't. He was scared. He tripped and fell. He must have been so scared. I'm so sorry.
That was a tearjerker, man. Yeah, he did look scared when he was running. He did. And like I said, like he said he wasn't supposed to be there. He said he had called his phone like 6 to 9 times trying to get in the house that night. So he was asleep and missed the calls. And unfortunately, he had to sleep in his truck with friends, his SUV with his friends that he was with, or associates or whatever. And this happened. That's why I said I strongly believe that he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I just can't put that jacket on his kid that he was just out here stealing cars and carrying guns or whatever. You just don't know the circumstances. None of us were there. None of these people online talking were there. I see a lot of content creators talking about stuff they have no idea that they're talking about. They was referring back to a court incident that happened. And we can look at that right here. That was the same attorney. I guess he's representing Rodney Hinton as well as this other individual that was being represented that day or whatever. That was two totally different things. And I see a lot of content creators putting out false information. That was two different incidents or whatever. All that was a whole different case. Whole different situation. Nothing to do with the Rodney Hinton case. Nothing to do with it. So I would advise to do your research before you start putting out stuff, because it's two totally different things. The situation that they were talking about was when Rodney Hinton's brother came and knocked on the glass or whatever.
Have a seat, man. Have a seat. Have a seat. Sit down. Have a seat, brother. Have a seat. That's my brother. Sit down! Let me go.
Two totally different situations. Yeah, so we're here now where, you know, it's a lot of hurt, a lot of pain going on. And Rodney Hinton is facing a lot of trouble. He has a really tough fight ahead of him. I don't wish this on nobody. I just wish this never would have taken place. What I'm hearing is that he didn't even have a criminal record. The father didn't. Really good. I heard he was a good guy. People that went to school with him and stuff, heard he was a good guy. And it's probably gonna be taken into consideration, because if you don't have a criminal record and all of a sudden you just snap and something like this happens, temporary insanity. And his lawyer, Clyde, he's being represented by Clyde Bennett. He's okay, he's a good lawyer. Kind of presented that already when he came up to for a bond here, and of course he didn't get a bond, but we can look at the court footage.
Investigation, the witnesses that we spoke to up to this point, that Hinton left our office and was traveling, and came upon Deputy Hinton and made an intentional decision to drive directly at Deputy Hinton and strike him and kill him.
Okay. And based upon that investigation, did you decide to charge the defendant with aggravated murder?
We did, yes.
Okay. I don't have any further questions, Judge.
Mr. Bennett, you may cross-examine the witness if you like.
Judge, first of all, I would like to offer on behalf of the Hinton family and myself, prayers to the Hinton family, prayers to the family of Larry Henderson, the fallen deputy, and I thank the court for having a fair assembly in the courtroom today. With that, I'd like to ask you a few questions, not a lot. Okay? You said that Mr. Hinton left the police station around 12:30. CIS.
He initially left around 10:30.
Came back and then left again.
And then returned a couple hours later, yes.
And you said that individuals that know were saying that he appeared to be agitated, upset, and so forth, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't know the source of that agitation or that distraughtness, do you? If you know, you might not. I don't think you do, but you have to answer the question.
The source of the agitation?
Yes.
Well, I would assume it was because of I believe it was because of the video and the reason that he was at CIS.
Do you know the mental history of Mr. Hinton?
No, I do not know detailed mental history.
Right. Do you know whether or not he's had any medically documented infirmities or conditions? Do you know that? You don't, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay. And then you also don't know his state of mind at the time of the incident near Burnham Woods and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. You don't know that either, do you?
Based on the facts and circumstances surrounding it, I think we...
You think he intentionally did it?
And the evidence, yes.
Yeah. Are you familiar with acts of someone that is not in their right mind when they commit a criminal act?
Yeah, so I think that's going to be the defense, maybe temporary insanity. I don't know, but my thoughts about this whole situation is sad across the board. I don't condone none of this stuff. I don't condone that I don't agree with the officer unaliving the 18-year-old. I believe there could have been other ways to handle that whole situation. I don't agree with Rodney Hinton Jr. Allegedly, again, he's innocent until proven guilty, taking his vehicle and striking the Hamilton County deputy. I don't. Now you are incarcerated and you can't fight for your son. You know, it's better for you to be out than in, because you're able to fight and get resolution. It is sad across the board. Condolences to the family of Ryan Hinton, and condolences to the family of Larry Henderson. And let's just keep everybody uplifted in prayer. I wish that we could have more of a community and police relationship. And something else that his attorney said was that he was happy that it was a fair assembly in the courtroom that day, because something happened at the arraignment, or when he's first brought up on the charges, when he was released from the hospital and transported to Hamilton County. We speaking of Rodney Hinton. There was an assembly of a lot of Hamilton County sheriffs that were there in support of Mr. Henderson. And you have to understand, he made an impact on a lot. He trained a lot of these officers and had a long career with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. So a lot of people were hurt behind that. So they were coming out to support. A lot of people looked at it as intimidation, but I didn't look at it as an intimidation. I looked at it as they were just there to support their fallen colleague. But a lot of people looked at it as if they were trying to intimidate Rodney Hinton Jr. I heard a lot of good things about Mr. Henderson, and he trained a lot of these officers. He did a lot of stuff for the community. Really good guy, I've heard. And I've heard a lot of good things about Rodney Hinton Jr. It's a sad situation. Sad, tragic situation. And nobody wins in this. Nobody wins. Nobody wins. Nobody wins. It's this tragic loss across the board. And it has to be changed, period. It has to be more community and police relationships where people are more comfortable with interactions with law enforcement. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Because you're going to continue to see this kind of stuff go on. You're going to continue to see this. People scared. Law enforcement scared. Fear for their life. And as soon as they say I fear for my life, normally they go home, paid leave, and that's that. And it's sad. And it's sad that people have to walk around and drive around in fear of law enforcement. There has to be discussions had. It has to be reformed. Change is needed immediately to prevent tragedies like this. I heard people considering Rodney Hinton Jr. a hero. There was nothing heroic about cutting down an innocent person that was out doing their job. Don't condone that at all. That is not what we stand for. There are some good, hard-working, law-abiding citizens in the African-American community, and us as good law-abiding citizens, we don't stand for that. I understand that you're hurt, you're angry, and it's a lot of emotions. I can empathize with that. I understand. But what I don't understand is why take it out on somebody that didn't have totally nothing to do with it. Nothing at all to do with it. And like I said, I honestly feel that Ryan Hinton, his son, was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just hearing the good things I've heard about this child, this young man, I'm feeling that it was some peer pressure going on, and just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's important that we reach out to our young kids in the community at a very young age. Tell them to watch the company they keep. It's been a lot of incidents where you can get in somebody's car and they have some stuff going on. You don't know, maybe some friends you grew up with. You don't know what they got going on. You just happen to hop in the car with them, and boom, you in the middle of some stuff you didn't have nothing to do with. And that seems to be the case. This seems to be the case. And it is to see the children, his siblings, or the younger kids that was back there crying. He had a brother that got up there and spoke, his older brother. It's sad. It's sad across nobody wins in this situation. We can learn a lot from this. We have to make better decisions, watch the company we keep, and law enforcement needs to learn how to do their jobs better. They need to learn better de-escalation tactics. They need to take some diversity training. They need to get out and actually interact with people of color so we can prevent this. I know so many people of color that are out here working hard, doing the right things. Just doing the right things, trying to make an impact. I mean, positive, people with kids, people that are involved in church, people that are involved in community. And those be the same people getting harassed, thrown down on the ground and wrestled down or shot unarmed. And when you see these police get up here and talk at these press conferences, no empathy, no humility, no sympathy at all. It's excuses. You have edited body cam footage, all types of craziness to cover their ass. But if they just stop and try to understand, a lot of this can be prevented. De-escalate, understand, stop stereotyping. Every person of color you come in contact with is not a criminal. True enough, it was weapons in the car, but it's legal to own weapons. Ohio is an open carry state. It's legal. Now, the stolen vehicle, that's a no-no. That should have never happened. Never should have happened. It just need change across the board. We need to see change. We need to see police reform. Need to be and you start hitting these people pockets. When they fuck up, hit their pockets. And people need to lose their damn jobs. Some of these officers out here should have never had a badge. Some of these criminals out here that's out here acting crazy and crashing out doing dumb stuff, they should never walk the streets again. They should be locked up some damn where till they get it right. If they can't get it right, keep their asses in there. I'm a strong proponent to lock their ass up. If they can't do the right things, lock their ass up. But something tells me that this kid, Ryan Hinton Jr., wrong place, wrong time, and it's sad. He should still be alive. He should still be alive. He should still be playing the PlayStation. He should still be that gentle giant. He should still be here. It's your boy Deontay. Let me know what y'all think about the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And prayers to everybody involved. Prayers to the Hinton family. Prayers to the Hinton family. Prayers to Cincinnati. Prayers to the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. Like I said, I got friends that work for them. I care about everybody. I'm a believer in Christ. I love everybody. And I believe in forgiveness. Let me know what y'all think. I'm out of here.
Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Donations can be made to the Cash App. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Me on the beat too. Look, yeah. Okay. I pull up you deep on my niggas, consider it's pivotal. Trap through the app, make her clap it, don't cap it, she tapping it fast. I think that you know they be catching it. Standing 6 feet up, casting a shadow on niggas that talk like they bad it. They know that we got it, they talk far from actual. I make the wave so tsunami, I dare you to paddle in. The trunk steady rattling. Blowing top tier to keep my thoughts clear. I see the optim there, I'm on my shot, call it big bar shit. I never know the time, I'm never clocking in. Wildflower, I'm like Denzel, I've been the man on fire, bitch, I'm hot lava. You are not scarred, you are proudly. I'm a real nigga to the coffin still. Heart chill from all this talking real. Recent life feel like a highlight reel. Curly thumbing through currency, I'm from the avenue, bitch, I'ma get it regardless. I told little baby to slide with that Lotus, pull up with the garden. My guard is down till you come around, trying to hold you some. Give a fuck how you feel, I don't owe you nothing. Now you trying to make amends, I'm just trying to get the fortunes. Trying to cut my mama fortress. Pop might pull up in a Porsche. I used to be quiet, was timid. They used to catch me skipping courses. Now they snap a nigga portrait. Hard head but never forced it. I got a pin it shine like it's supposed to. The way I deliver they pose to. My neck got a compass to know where we going. It sound like I'm stepping through portals. I'm off of that poison the devil be calling, but I just ignore it, hit for it. The task force told me go up. Okay, yeah, you asked for it. Wait, the task force told me go up. Okay, yeah, you asked for it. Wave, the task force told me go up. Look. The way that I ball, I should've played for the Big Ten when I touched stage, but they packed in. Got a pretty thing to make a back bend. Let me see it all through the glass lens. Had some people try to snake. If I see you, I'm teed up, might greet you with brass hands. Skate off fast, put a buck on the dash to somewhere vast. With my feet up, wait, hold up the label, just call me the tabbing. They just cut the check, so I'm up in the slip. I take for J to the neck, then I stretch. To start my day, I hit the cash dance. Niggas is different now, I was down then, but that's all in the past tense. So I can't stop shit till I'm top 10, and I'm not 10. I'm so in love with the process. Not all in the day, but it took them some time to build wrong. I just copped the crib, never home. No, I can't keep a charge on the phone, so she thinks she in love with a ghost. When I'm home, I make sure that she get what she needs, so she know what I'm capable of. Know my rhythm, could spar with the pros. They pay me to hear what I'm on, they ask what I'm on. I'm doing great, I suppose, cause I get to do what I want. It's legit, but it sound like it's straight from the stove. They playing my tape in the field and they treat me like I'm making plays in the fourth. Know the beat bang with a force. I'm a product of stay in the course, yeah. I watch my step on the tightrope. The rate going up at a high slope. I don't got no work-life balance. I'm never throwing a towel in. The pen game hella nice with it. The flow heavy like a hydrant, but it come with a patent. I'm laughing at badgering all of them boys that won't bite it. I keep my center and shine like I'm supposed to. The way I deliver, they post to. I'm going somewhere you ain't seen on no atlas. It look like we stepping through portals. I'm off of the potion, the devil been calling, but I just ignored it for it. Task force told me go up. KLK, you asked for it. Let's go.